So in this video, I want to quickly talk about when and why Black women in particular should be discreet and or extremely discerning about where and who they share their plans with to level up or practice hypergamy or become more feminine and just a new and improved version of yourself. And I'm doing this video because there is this new extremely refreshing shift happening with Black women online in particular, where we are having a lot of conversations about leveling up and hypergamy and refusing to date dusties and talking about tapping into our femininity more. And I am so happy that Black women are waking up, and I'm happy the message is spreading. And in my opinion, it needs to continue to spread because more Black women and girls need to latch on. It's still not enough of us. We're online, and I think we feel like this space is bigger than what it is, but we are actually a minority of women who are, putting these things into practice. It's very new for Black women. And I do think we need to have a quick conversation about being very selective and strategic about who we share things with, and also being very particular about where you share things with, certain environments you share this information in during your process. Because if you notice, hypergamous women, upper class women, even upper middle class women, successful sugar babies, successful career women, they aren't usually talking about this stuff publicly. And I'm talking about Black women in particular, or even with any race of women really, but Black women specifically don't usually talk about this stuff, not publicly. They're pretty much just doing it. They're living their lives. They're showing off their gifts on Instagram or something like that. They may be doing makeup tutorials, house makeovers on YouTube, stuff like that. But that's usually where it stops, right? They aren't usually talking about how they got there publicly, right? Most are not very political or controversial publicly. And there are reasons why they move how they move. And I'm going to get into those reasons in this video because, I have some Black women like that around me, in my ear, my mentor especially. And, we've been talking about this stuff, and that's kind of what inspired this video. So why should you be discreet? Because, ladies, let's face it, this information is controversial. It's controversial as it is, but especially as a Black woman. It's not as controversial for a white woman, but for Black women, it is. The mere act of Black women putting themselves first and choosing better men and being more feminine is controversial. It shouldn't be, but it is. So we have to act accordingly because there are a lot of people who don't want to see us do better. They don't think we deserve to have better. And they aren't used to seeing us be better. They aren't used to seeing a lot of us leveled up. And they are frankly committed to stopping us from doing so. A lot of people are, or I should say more people than what we realize. A lot of people want to kind of keep us where we are, especially as dark-skinned women, because it benefits them. They want to keep us at the bottom of the hierarchy. They don't want us to start thinking that we too can be feminine and use our femininity to our advantage. And a lot of people just don't think it's possible when it is. Of course, we're going to have our regular challenges and, with discrimination and systemic racism and colorism and all that, but we can still use our femininity to our advantage. And I think a lot of people know that. They know that. And deep down inside, they don't want us to start, exercising our options and using our femininity to our full advantage. They don't want us to actually improve and see us do better, because in a lot of cases that would mean leaving a lot of them behind. So there are a lot of people in this community, also in the dominant society, that don't want us to do better. People in the dominant society, they don't want us there because they feel like that means less for them. So, we're dealing with a lot of people who really don't want to see us win, Black women. That is our reality, okay? So the last thing that you want to do is give people too much information that they can use to ruin you or sabotage you, okay? And this is not to say that people won't try to ruin you or destroy you just because you're a black woman who's doing well. A lot of us are familiar with that, right? Sometimes you just can't avoid it. But there are times where women overshare and talk their way out of leveling up or receiving certain opportunities. Okay, sometimes you can get in your own way and overshare things about yourself that may ruin potential opportunities or sever connections that you may have had or that you have with prominent people that are where you want to be. And it could have all been avoided if you just, kept your mouth shut a little bit. We've all overshared things, with the wrong people or maybe in the wrong environment, and we wish we could take it back. I know I have. I've definitely overshared. So I'm not coming at you from a place of judgment. I'm coming from a place of experience. So, this is something that I had to learn too. And if you are not where you want to be in your level up journey yet, then it behooves you to be a little bit discreet until you get there. Okay. And even when you get there, still a certain level of discretion should be used. But you'll have a little bit more freedom when you get there is what I'm saying. Now, what does it mean to actually be discreet? It means not announcing that you only want to marry a rich man on your personal social media accounts with your real name and your face out there, okay? Doing Instagram videos talking about how you only want rich men and you're single and you don't have a rich man yet, okay? There may have been a rich man that was interested in you, and after he read that or he saw your video of you popping off at the mouth, then he wasn't interested anymore, okay? And you would never know because, that you missed out on that opportunity, but, he just didn't approach you, right? Some men don't care, but most men don't want a woman that only wants them for their money, okay? Even if you prioritize financial stability in a man, keep that to yourself, ladies. Don't put it on your, dating profile online, unless you're, on one of those sugar daddy sites or something and you're looking for a sugar daddy. But just simply choose high caliber men only instead of broke dusties. Just do and not say. If a man hits you up, a broke dusty hits you up, just ignore him. You don't have to announce to the world that you only looking for rich men. Being discreet means not asking a man to pay your bills after the first date. I've said this before, but you have to kind of ease your way into asking men for money. And it's more about being suggestive than flat out asking him for money, at least until you get extremely comfortable in the relationship, And even then, some men don't like it. You kind of got to know what you're working with. You kind of got to gauge the situation and see what kind of man you're working with and see what works on him. It's different for every man. Some men don't care. You can just be like, hey, babe, can I have your credit card? I need to go here or whatever, or I want this bag or something like that, But some men prefer you to kind of hint around and, you kind of got to make them feel like they came up with the idea on their own. It's just, you have to kind of feel your way around. And most of the time, unless he explicitly states it on the first or second date, most of the time you're not going to know what kind of man you're dealing with. So you don't want to ask him for money after the first or second date. You know what I'm saying? It's just little stuff like that. You don't want to just attract high caliber men, ladies. You actually want to keep them, right? Being discreet is not discussing what we discuss here with your coworkers or at a company you're trying to move up in. Don't add your coworkers as friends and then start popping off at the mouth on a Facebook post. Your boss may have read one of your posts, or maybe one of your coworkers sent your boss a post and maybe it left a bad taste in their mouth, and now they're not going to consider you for a promotion. And nobody is going to tell you these things. They're just going to choose someone else, and you're going to be left out and left behind and ignored, and you're going to wonder why. And you're going to be somewhere talking about, it's because I'm a black woman. Yeah, it might be that too, but sometimes, you just ran your mouth too much. Like, they did like you, but now they don't because you ran your mouth too much. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think we can acknowledge that sometimes we get in our own way, ladies. We can acknowledge the discrimination, and we can acknowledge that life is not fair for a black woman. We can acknowledge that all day long. But listen, sometimes we do get in our own way, and I think we need to have a balanced conversation about that. Like, not everything is because of racism or colorism. Sometimes we do get in our own way. You know what I'm saying? And so, when people always talk about, oh, you're just all about respectability politics, listen, a lot of times they work, deal with it. That's the way of the world, and sometimes you just have to know how to play the game. But, this is why you should leave these conversations on the internet, ladies, okay? Under your alias, not your real name, something far from your real name, and without your face attached, if at all possible. Don't mention any of this to your potential suitors, your coworkers, or anybody who's, an authority, because you don't want to risk getting shut out of a place you're not, that you're currently working to get to. I'm upper middle class in the state of Indiana, and I'm trying to move into upper class. Okay. I'm trying to get some more money, some more coin. Okay. And also get both feet in certain industries. So I know as a Black woman that I can't take this conversation in every circle I frequent, because it could sever my ties to certain people and certain networks that I have access to and am gaining access to currently. Okay. And the act of hypergamy and or moving up in class in general, even if you're not trying to get married to a rich man, even if you're trying to, move up into the next class on your own with your own money, and your own education or whatever, a lot of times it's about who you know. It's about forming relationships. That's a lot of it, actually, and like it or not, you have to know how to play the game. And it wouldn't behoove you to burn a lot of bridges or ruin your reputation before you get to the place that you want to be. You're only making it harder for yourself to get there when you do that. Okay. And listen, the internet is what it is. There are people in every group sharing their strategies and secrets. There are white male pickup artists. There are Black male pickup artists. There is MGTOW. There are white women teaching women how to get rich men. So I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about it as Black women, in the spaces for it. But that's where it should stay, unless you already are where you want to be and you have nothing to lose. Like if you meet somebody in person, a guy in person, like a rich man, or a guy, with a good career, and he drives a nice car, and he's that guy, and he asks you, do you watch YouTube and do you listen to a girl named Chrissie? Say no. Nobody needs to know that you listen to me. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't need to know that. Okay. Because they're going to say, oh, well, she got the game and she's trying to use me, and she's trying, that's how a lot of people's minds work. So, be discreet. Nobody has to know about all of this stuff, or the important people don't have to know. Okay. And I understand, hearing us on YouTube and being excited about your transformation and just wanting to tell the world and wanting to tell everyone about this newfound information and about this journey that you're going on. I understand feeling like that, right? Because you're excited, right? And I think it's fine to pass on the information to your daughters and other Black women in your family, or your really close Black female friends that you trust. And maybe you all can, level up together. You can do that. But if you don't have people like that in your life that are going to be receptive to you changing, then it's best not to tell them and just do it. Just do it. Do it alone and do it. And if they're giving you a hard time about it, because again, sometimes you can just do it and they'll still be looking at you sideways like, who do you think you are? And they'll try to sabotage you, right? Sometimes you don't have to say anything. You just do it and you'll get the same result, right? But you just have to distance yourself from those people at that point. And sometimes it will be your friends. Sometimes it will be your family. And you need to be okay with that and at peace with going on your journey alone, because sometimes you will have no choice. You are going to lose some friends, on this level up journey. And that's just what it is. You have to be okay with that. You're going to make new friends. Make new friends, and your new networks. That will give you the incentive to go make new friends, better friends. You know what I'm saying? Friends that can assist you in your level up journey. And you can say, oh, yeah, why are you talking about using people? Listen, we all use each other for something. You don't want a friend that can't benefit you in any way. Please. Especially if you're a friend that everybody calls to, vent to, or they need some money or whatever. Yeah, you want friends that are going to benefit you. Yes, other qualities are important. They should be good people, all that good stuff, all that stuff. We know that already, okay? But every relationship that you're in should benefit you in some way. But everybody can't handle your level up. And it's best to stay away from those people, no matter who they are. It could be your own mother. Okay. And if it is, get some therapy to heal that wound and cut her off. Okay. You got to do what you got to do. I've cut off family members too. It has to be done. It is what it is. But let me know other ways that Black women should stay discreet that I failed to mention. Staying discreet regarding, their level up journey. Leave that down in the comment section. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch up with you in the next video.